guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'm so excited for today's video because we're talking about godly principles, something that I am personally learning and personally getting a hang of. So guys, the first principle that I wanted to share with you guys is the principle of giving. This is the most important principle. This is a very godly principle. You should trust God with everything you have. I promise you, if you give to the poor, if you give to people that are in need, if you just give in general, even if it's someone that is not in need, trust me, God repays you. Give with a cheerful heart also. And I also have, like, this verse is my favorite. Proverbs 19 verse 17. Whoever is generous to the poor lends to the Lord, and he will repay him for his deed. If God is saying that you have lended him something, if you're giving to the poor, imagine how much he will repay you. Guys, if you're not a giver, you're missing out. It's for everyone. So, and God is merciful because he created us on earth. And he's like, it's anyone, even if it's a non-believer, even if it's if they give to the poor, if they are generous to the poor, I will repay them. If there's someone who gives too much, notice they will always be giving too much. Like you're always receiving from them. There's someone who you're calling like the greatest giver in the community. That person will always be the giver of the community. Why? Because it keeps multiplying. Because the more they give, the more God blesses them. The more they continue to give, the more God continues to bless them and pay them back and give them back. You know, I wanna encourage you also on tithe. I know giving in your day-to-day basis is so important, and tithe too. You know, like tithe is like I heard that tithe is you giving back to God. What is you're returning? You're just telling him, God, you can trust me with everything you give me. I can give it back. Giving works. If you want to test it out, test it out. Go out right now. Look for someone that you can bless that doesn't deserve anything from you, that you think doesn't deserve anything from you. Bless them. Give them some money that you would hardly get out of your pocket. And I promise you, if you remove the amount of money that makes you feel like, oh my God, I gave too much right now. Oh my God, why did I give this person so much money? They don't even deserve it. They have a lot of money. Why am I doing this for this, so and so? Why should I even do that? Where there is no answer, just go ahead, give someone. I promise you, you will see the wonders of giving. Giving is a powerful principle. I want to go straight to those people that say, I don't have much, so I can't give. If you don't give, the small things that you have, it's not about how much you have. That's why I've heard this story repeated over and over, the story of Elijah and that woman of oil. She didn't have too much, but that little that she had, when she started pouring it, it increased. The oil increased. It could fill so many bottles. So if you are saying, I don't have much, I just have this small amount of oil, so how can I give? I'm saying, take that small amount of oil, calculate, okay, fine, let me just give half right now and trust God for it. Go ahead, give them half, and you see what happens. You will see that just by pouring a little bit, you will fill so many gallons with oil. You should start pouring. Stop waiting. Stop being the hand that receives, saying one day I'll also be a giver. No. At that point where you are right now, you have something to give. Be it kind words, be it money, be it clothes, be it, you have something to give. Give it. The minute you start trusting God with your things, your money, your, everything you receive, whether it's your harvest, whatever it is, like if you start trusting God with it and saying, I will give even when I'm finding it hard to give, because I want to see God's power in my life. I want to see goodness in this land of the living. No excuses. With this one, please put all excuses afar. You don't have to have a reason to give out that small thing that you have. Your number one reason, if you have it, is that you know that the principle of giving is power. There's some people that are out here saying, what if like it doesn't work for me? It works for some other people. I'm telling you that it works for everyone because it's in here. This book called the Bible. It's in the Bible, so it's going to work for you too. It's sad because most of the time the things that we're afraid to give away block the things that we should receive that are greater. If you can't give, then you don't know God. If you're still selfish, then you don't know God, because God is all about giving. With this principle, you can never ever go wrong. I'm 110% sure that with this principle you are blessed beyond measure. Okay, so there are some other principles that I know that are in the Bible, and many people undermine them. Why? Because the world is evolving, the world is changing. If you tell yourself that, no, I know this is a godly principle, and right now it seems stupid following it, you don't need a reward from people. The reward that you want the most is from God. So I heard my mom tells us almost every day, because she's always on our case with this one. She's like, God wants you to, sacrifice your body as a living sacrifice for Him. God wants you to, live your life straight and keep your path straight and everything. So if you know that, and then you keep that principle, expect the best from God. He put a principle here, and if you follow it and trust Him, He will reward you. I don't care what has happened in your past, but I'm saying you can take even your time right now and say, God, I want to do what you said I should do in your word. And I know you give me your best after I do this. God, I know that I've done this in the past, I've done this and I've done this. But God, I want to bring my body as a living sacrifice to you. Those people that want to save their bodies until marriage, I am telling you right now that God sees that. You might seem stupid to your friends, you might seem stupid to so and so, but if you want to save your body for marriage because of God's principles that He has put in His word, trust me, God sees that. And when God sees that, He will reward you. He will reward you. You have given your body to God. That's giving. And God tells you that if you give, He will reward you. Luke chapter 6, verse 38, that says, give and it will be given to you. Good measure, pressed down, shaken together, running over, will be put into your lap. For with the measure you use, it will be measured back to you. Are you saying, God, I want to give you 5% of my body, then the rest I want to, I'll take care of it? So if you go like, no, God, I want 100% from you, because I know your rewards are awesome, so I'm going to give you 100%. God sees that. So that's what I'm saying. God sees that. Do not be fooled by people around you telling you that it's the same. It's not the same. God sees you. It's not the same. Do not listen to people that don't have principles tell you how to live your life. For those young girls like me, 3/4 of the world is bad, but we are 1%. 99% can do what they want, but we are 1%. We are that law of exception. We are the exception. So I'm not going to say just because the world is broken, the world is terrible, the world already that is there. But we are saying that we are standing out. And you can't stand out if you're going to listen to the people that are not principled around you. Do you want to stand out? If you want to stand out, then you should start changing the way you live. You should understand that no matter how hard it is, the fact that you're overcoming that whole process, the fact that you're going through it, but you're using the faith, that's really fire. The temptations are fire. But if you go through them with that kind of faith that is fire back, you're fighting fire with fire. That's good, because you have to go through it as fire, So don't listen to people that don't have principles, tell you that the principles that you're laying are too unrealistic. If you don't want to do it, it's fine. Me and my God, we are having some discussions here, and we're agreeing on some other things. And if God promises to give me, to reward me, I will understand. I want those rewards. If you don't want, if you're fine, if you're enjoying your life, it's good. But allow people that want to be principled to be principled. Don't listen to people that are not principled telling you that this principle is honestly outdated. It's not outdated. God says it, that if you seek me, if you're doing something for God, guys, if you're doing something for God, I think you should know by now, God rewards you. Do not be envious when the wicked seem like they're going up, up, up. The book of Proverbs will tell you that you can't be envious of the wicked people. People when they flourish, like they're flourishing and everything, that's temporary. You don't want that. It also comes with a lot of negatives. I know the peer pressure out there, people be telling you, hey, you're being unrealistic, honestly. Or like, who still does that? Who still is like this? Who still keeps that principle? It's really a godly principle. If someone once said you're distracted or you're deceived, someone deceived you, and someone told you that this principle is now outdated, and you fell for it at that time, that's sad. But what happens now is that you can't say your life ended that day. You can't say now, my life, I can just live my life recklessly and I can just give, there's nothing to give God. A living sacrifice can still be a living sacrifice even after that happened. You need to give God your 100%. You can go ahead and say, God, that happened, but I need you. I need to start afresh. I need to go with you. Although it seems like, like there's nothing to do about it, there is something to do about it. You can still turn back to God, and sacrifice and say, God, that happened, that one mistake won't define me. I am starting afresh and I want you. That part, okay, fine. Of course, the sun, it's always going to be there. It's always going to be some part that shows that I went through this, but I want a new life now. And you sacrifice yourself to God and sacrifice your body to God, and God will take care of the rest. Stay principled. Yes, you look outdated, but I feel like the whole part, God wants you to stand out. God doesn't want you to seem like so and so. Some people glorify being bad too much that it seems like being bad is the in thing these days. Naked people are glorified in this world. People that put implants and everything are the most glorified in the world. People that post pictures of themselves being bad in clubs and everything, they're the most glorified in the world. People that post pictures of them drinking and, smoking and everything are the most glorified in this world. People that post their pictures with their middle fingers up are the most glorified in this world. People that say bad things and, post videos swearing and everything are the most glorified in this world. So what else could you expect from this world when they're telling you that your principles are outdated? Expect it. So please, if you want to stick to a godly life and you're saying you want to change and become better, know that you and the world can't be like this. Most of the world will bring that side of you down. You need God. Many people will try to bring you down, but you need God. Another principle that I want to lay out, you should have faith. Like every time, faith should be your lifestyle. Like you should be in a situation, every time you're in a situation where things seem impossible, like you should practice having faith. Like I think you should start off by practice, because sometimes you just don't know how to have faith. Faith requires a risk. You know that there will be a risk required for you to have faith. So that's when you start to expect something good from God. And that's when you build your faith. That's when your faith starts to grow. Okay, so for more principles, I just want to go to the book of Matthew chapter 5, the Beatitudes, verse 6. It goes like, Blessed are those who hunger and thirst for righteousness, for they shall be satisfied. I am here to remind you, with my Bible, to remind you that you shall be satisfied. And he also goes on and says, Blessed are the peacemakers, for they shall see God. Do you want to see God in your life? Do you want to see God in everything you do? Start becoming a peacemaker. This is another principle. Like every time, if you can be the one to make peace, be there. Be a peacemaker. Your whole life is changing. You know that every time I start a conflict, I go first and I say sorry, even if I was the one who was the victim. I'm practicing. It's hard sometimes, but you just go like, okay, fine, I'm gonna push aside my pride, because I know God hates pride. It's so hard. That's why God goes ahead and says, for they shall see God. You don't want to miss out on that. You don't want to miss out on that. That's why sometimes you go like, okay, fine, the pride can stay, because I want God's blessings. I want to see God in this land of the living. And like why I'm giving you guys these principles? Like, I feel like you don't fully enjoy the peace that comes with being a believer if you don't know those principles. So that's why I shared this. I was like, no, I need to share this, because many believers are missing out. Most of their benefits are even being taken by non-believers, because principles are principles. I just want to remind every believer right there, there is no way someone as great as God comes into your life and you remain the same. No, many changes will have to happen. Like you will feel it inside, and stop ignoring the desires that God puts in your heart and in your mind. Don't ignore them. Start to live for God. I'll close by this beautiful verse in the book of Matthew chapter 5, verse 16. In the same way, let your light shine before others, so that they see your good works and give glory to your Father who is in heaven. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you guys for watching, and let's continue to grow this channel, guys. If you haven't subscribed. If you haven't watched my other videos, I'll leave the links down in the description below.